something's wrong. Oh no. Who's gonna drive you home tonight?
Hey guys, welcome back to the 8 o'clock hour. I'm so excited. I love our next guest. Genuinely love her as an amazing human being, but singer, songwriter, producer. Let me bring her on screen because I could go on and on about her. Hello, Miss Kelly Lang. How are you?
Hi, I am really good to be here. I'm so thankful that you had me on. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. I can hear you
Great.
just fine. No, there's always a little bit of technical difficulties, and I have them. I was having them earlier, so
No,
I,
it wasn't technical difficulty. It was my kind of difficulty. I literally didn't know how to get on. So thanks for your patience.
no, I was trying to be nice about it, Kelly. No, look, I still there's times I'm like I don't even know how to type my name some days, so I can't say anything. I'm still sitting here sharing it so people know that it's going on, but. I am so glad to see you. In February, we didn't get to see you at CRS. We did talk to your wonderful husband,
Oh, no.
who just has,
Well, he is wonderful. I will admit that.
I mean, okay, any man that can talk about his wife the way that he does, and I've said this to you before, I mean, the two of you talk about each other, and it's just like watching this whole love story in person, and it's like relationship goals
You're
that
breaking
everybody
up.
should
I'm
have.
sorry. I
Oh,
can't hear part
that's
of that.
okay. That's okay. Let me see why that's happening. I guess it's going to be one of those nights. Is that better?
I've had one of those days. What are you talking about? I think you were talking about my husband talking kindly about me. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Thank you for
I
sharing.
what I was saying is that any man that talks about his wife the way that he does, those are relationship goals there. I think we all want that.
Oh, well, it's a mutual admiration society, I think, because he's my everything. He really is. He's this quarantine thing, most people have butted heads, they've been like too close, for that. But it is if you could be any closer together, he and I are. It's really brought us even closer together, and we've enjoyed just hanging. We're buds, so it's really been great.
Well, and you're right. It'll either pull people apart or pull people closer together. I've said a couple of times I think that this was God's way of saying everybody just needs to be still for a bit. Just
I agree. It's like a reset button.
yeah. I mean, as much as okay, we want to go, we want to get out and do things, and we want to get back in the RV and travel. It's also been really nice to just be still. And
Yeah, TG and I were just going too fast, too much. And this was probably the biggest year he and I both have had in many years as far as what things were on the books. And it was disheartening to push pause and to stop everything we
right.
were planned, as everyone's feeling, of course. But in hindsight, it's been really sweet. I mean, it's been like a refresh button, and it makes
Yeah,
you stop and, oh, we can sleep in. It's weird to be able to sleep in your own bed for that many days in a row,
right.
So,
Yeah, and there is something. I mean, and I've watched you on TikTok because you have your TikTok account. I love it.
a very little one. I don't know how
Well,
to do a lot of it.
I don't either, but I'm one of the moms definitely over 30, definitely over 40, but I I'm one of the I'll just scroll through and I'll laugh or I'll cry or whatever it is, but there. it has become a very addicting habit for me.
My daughter told me, don't go down the rabbit hole, Mom. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Man, I find myself 20, 30 minutes into this, like, I gotta go to the drugstore and buy what she's talking about, and I do. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, we're bored. When I tell TG last night, I said, look what I figured out how to do. I can now roll towels like they do at the spa. And he goes, oh, TikTok. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, what else are we supposed to do, right?
Right. I think it makes us all creative in a different way than, or having to find those things that make us, we went and got a puppy,
Oh, what kind of puppy?
Chihuahua.
Oh,
Chihuahua.
Chihuahuas don't like me at all.
They
don't. Seriously.
I have a feeling this one would. She has never met a stranger. She's 7 months old now, and she loves people.
Oh.
Now, we have an older Chihuahua. He doesn't like anybody, but that's okay.
I have a funny story. I love all animals. I mean, that's how I spend most of my time too, is looking at animal videos. TG laughs at me. But I went to the Humane Society here, and I decided that, thank you, Gail, sweetheart. I decided that I wanted to see if I could go live, like a Facebook Live, and entice people to come to the Humane Society.
Yeah.
By seeing these babies live, First dog they put in my lap was Deborah, the Chihuahua. Deborah and I thought we were going to really hit it off. She bit my finger so hard, and she was so fast at doing it. They're speedies.
They are.
So my friend, Kim Sizemore Fennon, and Gail, her sister, had a little bit to do with making a mock video of that sped up, and they played it over and over again. And every few weeks, I would get something in the mail that had a Chihuahua on it for a long time. So it's an ongoing joke.
Okay, so did any other dogs get adopted that day from going live, or after the Chihuahua? Were you like?
I think I doomed that child. So I don't know. I think I need to go back and check, because we were there for quite some time, doing that.
Yeah.
That helped out a little bit, but I came away with half a finger, I know.
And I can't.
See the video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see that. That's funny, because they do bite, and when they bite, it's quick and it does hurt. I can't say they don't. And even when she was like 8 weeks old and we brought her home, I was thinking, where is Caesar Milan? Because I don't know what to do with this, like half a pound thing.
You know how Caesar makes you like, shh, he makes you whisper at the dog.
Yeah.
I have an independent dog, Bentley. He acts like a cat, really, and that's the only thing he'll respond to is if I go shh, And so I need to meet Caesar and thank him for that one tip. It saved my life for many occasions.
That would be a good live, to have Caesar come in, and then you and Caesar and TJ go to the sorry. Oh my gosh. See, I'm even mispronouncing things now. Go to the animal shelter. And
I think that would be hilarious.
I think it would too.
I'm game. I'll do it.
Well, now we need to get people on getting Caesar involved.
Caesar Milan, bring him on.
Yeah, we need Caesar Milan, and we need him here now so that Kelly cannot get bit by any more Chihuahuas.
That's the only time I've ever been bit before, but it's lasting impression.
Well, there you go. Let's talk about music for a second. You have this album coming out, and of course, I'm lucky enough to have all of the tracks, and I do.
Yay!
But I can't stop listening to it. There's a couple of reasons. One, there's songs that I love, and there's songs that will bring back or trigger memories of, different times and places in my life. And then some of them I have as a playlist from the originals are on a playlist on my phone called Best Songs Ever. And so they're all those songs. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be great. And they are, Kelly, your voice is, I was thinking, okay, is she going to, she did that so smoothly and soulfully and perfect, and
Oh,
everything in
you're
it is.
thank you.
No, you're welcome. And you have such an amazing gift. And I've always said that to you, and it doesn't change. I mean, when we talked about obsession, um, that one blew me away too. My favorite on there is I'll just
Well,
hold my breath. But
oh, yeah. I was in conversation with somebody today, and they were asking me about like the difference between my last album and this album. There's a pretty strong difference in the two.
yeah,
Being that Obsession, I wrote every single song on there. So it was really difficult emotionally for me to do
right.
that because you really do bare your soul when you write like that. And this album, I needed something fun and something that would spark memories from fun times, more simple times, And these are songs that I kept hearing when I was getting my nails done or in the grocery store, things like that,
Yeah,
that were just kind of playing in the air, and it brings back good, safe times, memories.
yeah,
And I was reluctant to even put a CD out during this pandemic because I thought, there's much bigger things, that's going on right now in the world. Who needs to hear me sing something? But I kept feeling, um, I felt responsible to just add something that I could add to bring a little calmness and peace. And I felt calm in recording it, and I hope that maybe the listener would be too.
yeah. I mean, and I'll be honest. Like, okay, Drive is the first single off of it, and it came out. It's available now. The whole album comes out September 18th. So you all make sure you can go pre. There's a pre-sale for it. Oh my gosh. I'm not even that far into my wine, Kelly.
You might
But
have of mine.
no, please. Here again. Cheers.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Well, it's at least, I mean, I know it's 7:20 for you, it's 8:20 for me, so we're good. Um, Drive was never one of my favorite songs that I would just go to play it
Right.
until you did it. I love it but I also love like Me and Mr. Jones. These
Oh, that was fun to cut.
and these songs, while yes, they're simple lyrically, they're not these overproduced or overwritten. They're just simple. But yes, I mean, see, I can picture that when I'm listening to this album. I was like, okay, so Kelly just made a CD for like a dinner night for her and TG Shepherd to just sit around and have dinner and then dance, and that's what she did.
Boy, yeah, you got us figured just right. Yeah, he's a great dancer.
Let me have it. Just let me keep it, Kelly.
He's wonderful. He lights my candles, and yeah, it's really funny. We don't listen to much music, really. That's what we do for a living. So we haven't. I like to have music in the background all the time. He likes to have the news on all the time, so it contrasts a little.
Yeah.
But when we're in the car, we normally have it quiet so we can visit. But for some reason, and I'm really flattered by this, I thought he was just being nice for a long time, but for some reason, he puts this particular album on replay in the car, and it's almost just like in the background kind of noise.
Yeah.
He says it comforts him. It makes him feel, relaxed when he listens to it. So
I got goosebumps. It does, but it does. So I'm glad somebody else is saying that too, because it is a comfort. Maybe it's because it's a familiar thing for all of us in a time when we're not sure.
Nothing's familiar.
Right? When we don't know who to believe or what's happening, or we don't. So maybe because it's familiar. I don't know. All I know is I love it. I can't tell you every single reason why, because we'd be here forever and people would be bored with hearing it. I'm probably going to write it in a review or something and send it to you.
Not many people have heard it yet. So I'm a little, nervous to hear what people's response is. So I'm so grateful that you like it. If you didn't, I don't know what I would do. I would probably start crying.
Well, I don't want that to happen. But no, I loved it. I loved it. And I think it is the heart and passion and soul that you put into it. definitely comes out in it. So, um, and you all can see the tracks. Like if you go to Apple and pre-order it, you can see what tracks are there, and you're probably going to go,
Yeah.
wow, how's that one going to turn out? And then you're going to be shocked at how amazing it is. You just have to wait till September the 18th. That's not long.
Well, I was able to hear on I guess it's Apple iTunes where you can hear a
Yes.
lot of the tracks.
Yes.
So it's a longer version than they once did before. So you can get a good feel as to what the album's going to be. So,
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing actually a few of the songs on Huckabee coming up soon in October. So
Okay.
I'm really excited to be able to present them.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we share that link too, because that'll be great. I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Although I'm sure that I will have a press release out by then to tell me when and where to be watching, because you do have some great people around you.
I do, don't I? Thank God. Scott Sexton and Austin, all of them they keep me in line. They know, obviously, tonight having trouble getting on, Scott's like, oh, please, you know.
They keep me in line sometimes too, and just because they definitely.
What is your favorite song on the album? Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes. Get Here.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
There's a reason behind this. Why? I want to know your thoughts.
That song, I've always loved that song because it's kind of like, and I would reference it to when I was away from my significant other now, when we weren't in the same city. And when he would travel back, I would usually send him that song, or if he wasn't coming back right away. So it was always like, get here. I don't care how you get here. Just get here if you can.
Right.
But the line of you can get here in your mind. So you don't have to, I mean, you just have
a brilliantly written song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just touches me. So when you did it, it was like, oh my gosh, there was this freshness to it, but it still kept that same soothing. I don't know. Look, Kelly, I can't.
Here, let me help you.
Thank you. A lot of them.
You cry.
No, look, I don't know what it is. Every time I'm on one of these interviews, somebody usually will pop up and say, "Don't cry, Laura," but I can't help it. You know, it's just.
Well, you can tell you have passion. You know, if you didn't have emotions about something, you would probably not be as good an interviewer. You're fantastic because we just have conversation. You know.
See, I just love you and your husband because, see, he made me tear up in February by saying that to me, and now.
Girl, we need to get your hormones in check.
I'm wearing patches. I put my estrogen patches on all the time. I may need to up my dose.
You're hilarious. Oh my God.
So I learned something about you though today that I didn't know before, because this bio that you have now, your bio on your website is a different one than I've seen before. And the website, by the way, amazingly
Thank
designed,
you.
and it's sexy and it's clean. It's gorgeous. But I did not know that your father was Conway Twitty's road manager, and that's kind of how you got introduced to country music.
Yeah, Dad was working in a grocery store in Oklahoma City, and when I was 1, it was funny because Conway lived in Oklahoma City, or Moore, Oklahoma, and he would go on the road and have these humongous checks that he couldn't cash until Monday at the bank. But my dad, as the grocery store manager, always allowed him to cash them there. So they, struck up a good relationship, and he liked my dad. He liked his business sense, and he kept saying, if I ever need you on the road, would you go with me? And, my parents were very reluctant about him just taking off and leaving 4 kids and my mother back.
Yeah.
They loved him so much that it really did work out. And when I was, I guess, Laura, I think I was 6 or 7, we moved from Oklahoma City with all of Conway's organization over in like a caravan, really. all the way over at one time and just ended up in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And I've been here ever since.
Yeah, and I would imagine that would had to have been an amazing journey to be on, especially now to look back on how things were done then versus how they're done now. And it's
Well,
now
at the time, I didn't think anything about Conway. Like, I just
right.
thought, doesn't everybody's dad work for a country singer? Like, I don't, and I thought that was norm to have Loretta Lynn or George Jones call the house, or, it's a little askew now because I'm old enough to look back on that. But I realized that he was larger than life, but I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I learned a lot of lessons from him, not even musically necessarily. I loved watching him be so kind to the fans. He would sign every single autograph after every single concert. And he was a kind person, and he was quiet and a great songwriter, but he was not a boastful person, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I took a lot. I hope to have learned a lot of traits from him, just kind of hanging around, And my mom gave me a really great compliment the other day. My mom, of course, loved Conway, and he loved her, and he was such a gentle spirit, And she says, Kelly, you know what? I'm noticing something within your voice lately. Your phrasing reminds me of Conway. And it kind of surprised me a little bit, but you have a little growl to your voice, and you have some passion, and I like to sing sexier songs, which Conway would have chosen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the ultimate compliment to me,
Okay, that's the next album, the Conway covers.
All Conway songs.
So you need to do like "Hello, darling." You know what I'm saying? And yeah, okay, I'm writing it down here.
He was amazing, and he was, he's gone way too soon, just way too soon. And he knew I was a singer. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw him, and I've never told anybody this before, so this is
Exclusive.
This is I had been working with Lori Morgan. She was producing some sides on me at the time. And he knew I was a singer. He knew I had sung, for many years at that point. But he never really acknowledged, I was just noticing this thing over my head. It looks like my hair, but it's actually, I'm moving. I brought him a song that a friend of mine named Bruce Birch wrote, and it was called I Was Losing You. And I loved this song. Oh gosh, I still do. Matter of fact, TG just recorded it on his latest album. And this song it's very old. It's like probably 30 years old probably. Oops, that's no good. I'm turning this light down a little bit because it's glaring in my face.
Okay.
That's not good. Hang on. Okay. So anyway, I played him the song. I said, Conway, I really would like you to consider recording this. And he says, Kelly, you're the only other entertainer that's ever brought me a song. He says, if I hadn't finished my album already, I would have cut this. You got good ears, And I thought, wait a minute. He called me an entertainer. This is awesome, although he knew I sang, to be, to be recognized like that.
Yeah,
Really cool.
Absolutely. And I mean, and you're a songwriter, an entertainer, a singer, and a producer. You've produced all your own albums. So are you just that much of a control freak, or you just
yes?
Okay.
total control freak. I really, really am. No, I have
okay, you either have ghosts in your house or
I don't know what he's doing back there. I'm like, what is going on? Okay,
it's the ghost of Conway Twitty.
He's probably wanting my lighting to be better. I swear, he's so funny. He's like, I got a funny story to tell you about that too, by the way. Let me ask what he's doing. Honey, what are you doing? Oh. So years ago, he asked me, he says, Kelly, he says, am I your John Wayne? And I kind of laughed. I said, no. Like, who asked that? He said, I just wanted to know if I was like your, hero, John Wayne. And I said, no, you're my John Derek, though. Do you know who John Derek is? Okay, baby.
Oh,
He
I thought he
was,
was going to come comment on the John Derek thing.
No, he would. But John Derek was married to Bo Derek,
Yeah.
and he always made sure her hair was perfect and her clothes were perfect and her light was perfect. So I said, you're my John Derek. So it's quite funny. He's always wanting me to be just right. And of course, who is,
Well, to him, you are. And I mean, anyway, you two are so cute. I adore you both so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So, what would you have some specific songs that we're going to have music videos for on this album, or are you just waiting to see what happens with it?
Well, we have a lyric video out right now. It's the
For Drive. Yeah.
Video. Have you seen that yet?
I have seen the Drive lyric video. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got that. And then there's a song that TG and I recorded called Quando, Quando, Quando. It's an old Engelbert song. And I did a little fun romantic video, several shots of our relationship for when I first met him in the 80s, 80s. And all the way up to a vacation we took to Italy last year. It's part of our wedding in there, and private photos that nobody's ever seen before. So if all goes well, that will be a video that fans will be able to see later. I mean, people probably don't want to see that, but
people do though, and I think here's why I think it is because people are so quick anymore to throw away relationships. They'll either get into them and it's too much work, they'll throw them away. And I think people need couples that are real about their relationship. We're not perfect. We work hard at it and we have a lot of fun. It's worth it. It's worth it more to fight through it for it than it is to throw it away. And so
you say that, people fight for their relationships or whatever, but I think I can attest for him as well on this. We've obviously had past in our, relationships in our past, which had been work, but when we got together, it doesn't seem like work. It's a very peaceful thing. And I think that's been the greatest transition for he and I both, that we go, wait, we don't have to seek help, or we don't have to compromise on something. Wait a minute, but it's a very strange thing. And I've heard it explained like this, but I don't really know all the details about it. But they say that there's something like a twin flame or something. Whereas, have you ever heard of that term?
I have heard of it. Like, I couldn't explain it if I wanted to, but
the description that I was told is that two people come together, and they can be friends or they can be, spouses or whatever.
Right.
It's really, really rare, but it's almost as if you're the same person sharing a flame, because two candles, obviously, but it's a twin flame. And if I were to describe our relationship, I would truly say that, because we have the same taste in everything, like food or clothing or furniture. I mean, just every little thing.
Yeah.
Either he's really trained to tell me he has everything that I like, or we are truly that compatible, So life experience has been tough around us, but he and I are really very well suited.
Well, and anybody that's around you all for 2 seconds can see that. I mean, it is not a front that's put on for cameras or media or being around at a show or nothing like that. I mean, it is. I think I'll always admire the two of you, just as amazing humans and singers, songwriters, entertainers.
You know what? Joe Bonzel of the Oak Ridge Boys, right?
Yeah.
Joe gave us the nicest compliment one time, and we didn't even know what he was talking about. But he came up to us. It was probably a month after what he was talking to me about. He said, "You know what? I saw you and TG getting out at a grocery store, and y'all held hands going into the grocery store. I was out in the parking lot, and he hugged you, and you patted on him or something. And he said, it took my breath away because you weren't on. You weren't
Right.
even aware that anybody was watching you. And that's how you still were towards each other. And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't think it's that rare because it's just
Right.
us, you know, but
Right.
what a kind thing to say to somebody, you know.
Yeah.
So people do watch and we're aware of that now more, but it's certainly not for that reason. I'm just truly honored to be his wife, you know.
Oh, see, we could go. We just need to start having like marriage therapy sessions with Kelly and TG.
Well, if you felt that we could offer some help, we would be glad to, but I don't know if we have any more answers than anybody.
Well, what I do know that you have the answer to is that you have the answer to what we needed with this album, and I do mean that I kind of took a play off of what we were talking about there, but I do. This album has a place in everybody's soul. It's such a good album, beautifully done, both musically and vocally. It's really, really good, and I can't wait for it to be out there for everybody else to hear it like I've been able to.
I want to send a shout out to my co-producer on this. Buddy Hyatt, he's the one that gave me the encouragement, I guess, to keep following my dream and to really work with me vocally, because my voice has really lowered a lot through the years. And I had to keep lowering my register. I was like, wait a minute. I found out that I sing in the same key as Elvis and Kenny Rogers, which is bizarre for a woman, you know?
Yeah.
But Buddy kept going, no, it's good. Let's keep going with this. Let's find these darker, richer tones, you know, that women don't generally sing in. And he found just a magic place for me to feel really comfortable and safe in the studio. And so that I have to owe him and the musicians on this. Oh my gosh, they only played these songs maybe twice, and you're like, how, you know, because the songs range from like Quando to like it's a Bossa Nova to Every Breath You Take, or
Right.
even All by Myself.
Right.
I don't know how they can play that round of type of songs. That's amazing to me.
Right. I think so too. So it is. So anyway, everybody needs to go get that single right now, which is Drive. It's available right now. You can download it, stream it, whatever you can do. And I've been kind of,
yeah, KellyLang. On the front of the website is a little black button, and it'll say, I think, listen here or pre-sale here, I think.
Okay.
And you can click on there, and it'll show you places where you can stream or go to iTunes and purchase or whatever, but you can hear a bit more of it there.
Okay. And then follow her on TikTok. Maybe we can start getting her to do some more on TikTok. Follow her on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out more fun ways to engage on that, because it's a different type of video.
It is.
Requesting, yeah.
It is. Subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Please do. Thank you.
And follow on Facebook, Instagram, all social medias, because you run your own social medias.
I do. And I'm getting a little bit busier than I thought I was going to be, but I try my hardest to answer, back if I can. And if I can't, somebody on my team is really quick to help out. And so I really want to keep it as personalized as I can for as long as I can, of course. But yeah. The album itself is going to be, there's a lot of promotional things that are going to be coming out, and you'll get to know more about me than you want to in the long run. There's going to be some questions and answers that are going to be coming out that even my mama didn't know the answers to, I'm sure.
Uh-oh. Well, Kelly, we look forward to all of it. I love you so much. And I cannot wait to see you in person and be able to hug you. And so until then, you all make sure you follow her, subscribe, like, share, get the album, stream it, download it. And then September the 18th, the full album will be out. And so I've got my wine, and cheers to you, Kelly. I love you so much. And we will see you again very soon.
Thank you so much for your continued support. And I
You're
wish you
welcome.
well. Stay safe, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Hang on for me 1 second.
Okay.